speculating that Texas is slowly driving me to insanity, and you might be right. I don't know. People drive like absolute shit down here. I don't know why. I know this is. I'm doing a lot of the videos from the car, so while I'm recording, I'm observing the traffic, and it is true. People drive like there's nobody cares whatsoever about anything, like including the remainder of their life. They're like, you know what? It's hot and it sucks down here, so I'm just going to drive my car, and if I run into a wall or another car or the ditch, or I mean, you know what? I'm done. I'm not taking this heat anymore. Actually, I've looked at the little weather map of the next week, the next 10 days actually, and all 10 days are in the 90s, not over 100 degrees, and it's like it's a Christmas miracle in this hellhole of a state. Anyway, I'm just kidding. There's some nice places here. I'll give you this. Nobody would expect this. The food is better in Texas than Seattle. Hands down. It absolutely is. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, let's read this mail before I bitch some more about a state nobody cares. Half, more than half, like 95% of you are not in. And the 5% of you that are in this state are pissed off now that I'm insulting the state. But, it is what it is. By the way, Buckies. Have you ever heard of Buckies? Not the comic book character, the gas station. So everybody down here is like, oh man, you got to go to Buckies. Buckies is incredible. And they tricked my wife. So my wife's like, we got to go to Buckies. Let's drive 40 miles out of our way to go to Buckies. And I'm like, what is this Buckies? She's like, it's a convenience store. It's like a gas station convenience store, and it's supposed to be incredible. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm gonna take a beer. She's like, you can't drink a beer in the front seat of the car. I'm like, hell yeah, I can. I'm in Texas. And so we drove up to Buckies, and it's exactly that. It's a gas station with a giant ass convenience store, a bigger than usual. It's a big store. It's a big convenience store, but it's still just a convenience store. And you go into it, it's like, hey, wow, can you believe they have lots of, popcorn and slushy machines and, beef jerky? I'm like, I can believe that because it's every convenience store. They've just got more of it. It's like, wow. And I'm always like, I don't know why we drove up here. I'm like, it's your idea. Damn it. Anyway, that's Texas for you. Sorry. If you've never heard of Bucky's, it's like, who cares? I'm glad. It's a giant ass convenience store. Impressive. I'm super impressed. I'm sure it's amazing. Somebody's like, you got to go to Bucky's. The bathrooms are super clean. It's like, why is that a draw? Somebody washed the bathroom. Congratulations. Anyway, let's get to this mail. It says, hello, Perch. Hope you're well. Since Netflix is struggling, and it's what? Okay, spell check really screwed you here, bro. It's Wake Apple HB. It's Wake Apple HB and Disney Plus will probably start to really struggle. Okay, and Woke Apple and Disney Plus. I'm guessing it's that. I'm guessing that's what you meant. Woke Apple and Disney. I think you meant that. Will probably start to really struggle. Do you think the era of comics made as a proof of concept for TV shows will end? I believe TV networks and streaming services are going to start being real stingy with their budget and might only greenlight things they know for sure will work well with the audience. I guess IDW is in the hole now, well, a deeper one. Also, do you think the Netflix Age of Comics has yielded good results? I can only see Mark Miller as a really successful entry. Maybe even Umbrella Academy, but there doesn't seem to be much success in the direct-to-Netflix comic book category. All right, let's figure this one out. I think that, first off, I do think that the comic books to streaming service budget is coming to an end. I don't think there's much more of that. There will be occasional shows, but it's not an easy market. And that's going to blow up a number of the comic companies, little indies, that have been basically getting money from angel investment and other people with the promise of it will be a Netflix show someday. That money is going to dry up. And so these comic companies, these indie companies, are going to have to figure out a way to sell the idea of, we know what we're doing, and we will We will be able to produce a comic book that can sell on its own without a Netflix deal and still be profitable. Is that attractive to you, big investor? To a lot of investors, it won't be. A lot of people invested in some of the small indie companies and bankrolled them with the entire business plan that it would be, they would be movies one day. And so that's going to be a problem. No mistake about it. But overall, I think that have there been successful? I mean, I think Disney Plus is what it is. There's a lot of videos out there like Disney Plus is dying. Disney is doing fine. It really is. Don't believe that shit. It makes for very exciting, like, woke Disney sheds subscribers. Obi-Wan runs away from Vader, is a pussy now. Nobody watching Disney Plus. People are still watching Disney Plus because Disney Plus can give one very compelling business argument that no matter what anybody says, works. And if you're a parent, you understand this. Hey, you can go to Disney Plus and you can watch The Little Mermaid or Aladdin or any of those cartoon shit anytime you want. And your kids will love it. Subscribe. That is the business case, and it works. If you're a parent, if you got kids, turns out no matter what you think about woke Disney, Two Moms, and Buzz Lightyear, I don't know any of that stuff, turns out kids like Disney. They tune in, and there's Mickey Mouse going, oh, hi there. How about you give me your money? And they go for it. No problem. So Disney Plus is going to be fine. Apple TV is pretty much bankrolled by people who buy iPhones, and everybody wants one. You buy an iPhone, and they give you 2 years of Apple TV. And and people tend to buy a new iPhone every 2 years. A lot of people do anyway. And that's how that service is making it work. HBO Max, it's like, hey, do you use AT&T? Congratulations, you get an HBO Max subscription. We'll see if that continues, probably not. But that's how HBO Max succeeds. Netflix is kind of the last one of, hey, pay us $10 a month and you can watch Netflix. And you're like, yeah, but a lot of those shows suck. It's like, yeah, but have you ever wanted to see a show where a bunch of super shitty cooks try and make desserts and they suck at it and then we laugh at them? It's called Nailed It, and you'll give us $10 a month for that. I feel like, well, I don't know if I'm going to use that, but here's my $10. It'll be fine. But I do think the comic book content on these channels is going to dry up. There will be some, and I think Umbrella Academy, modestly successful. Weirdly enough, I liked Season 3 better than Season 2 by a mile. It actually felt like there was a threat going on. I do think the Elliot Page stuff, or Emily Page to Elliot Page stuff was handled probably as goofy as you would expect. But, the Season 3 was decent. The Red List, is that what it is? That movie did well. The Witcher, I know it's video games, but somehow that gets tied to comics in ways I don't understand. But they build that as a comic book adaptation, but it's a video game app. Whatever, that does really well for them. Sandman seems to be doing okay. People, they'll still get some out on that network, but they will be more selective. The Mark Miller stuff will do well. I know Jupiter's Legacy did okay, but it cost too much to make. So they'll try some others, and it'll be fine. But overall, I think that if you're a comic company, you have to bank on quality of your content, as opposed to the idea that you can put any kind of shit out and somebody will make a movie out of it. That world is over. It's not ending. It is actually over. And so people are going to have to kind of wrap their heads around that one. And that's just where we are. So, I think that's healthy, by the way. It'll be good if comic companies can get to a place where they actually try and crank out good content, good comics that have a decent, compelling story and are not reliant on, being cash flow positive. There's a movie adaptation or an option granted. It's like, what's Kim and Kim was going to be a show, and they've been shopping that forever. That show's that's never going anywhere. I feel bad for it. There's a lot of people involved, including some people I know and like very much, who would love a check. but that show's going nowhere. I think in general, you're going to see a limit, a pushback of content. I think in all these channels, all these streaming services in general, you're not going to see as much new content. It's going to start to pare back a little bit. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? We've got a huge back catalog. How about you just watch that and shut up about some of these new shows? You're going to get some of that. Anyway, there you go. I don't know if I've answered your mail or if I've just rambled a lot or both. Thank you very much to the jerk who has put in the video starts at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. You're a hero of this entire channel. Thanks for listening.